Ayo Kid 2306, and we back like hood crack with another one. Prodigy Starks. All Star Weekend, baby. You know I gotta do All Star Weekend. I love doing All Star Weekend stream. Every time we get the All Star Weekend, I gotta drop a stream.
And you know what? This is probably, Kevin, my favorite day on the NBA calendar. I mean, with the amazing collection of players we have here tonight, this year promises to be an epic event.
Let's go.
Guys, it always is. I mean, the privilege of playing in this game means so much to every one of these players.
Already. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Best in the NBA's biggest superstars.
Now we'll look at the West All-Stars starting lineup. Jokic is out
Man,
there with
free
Towns.
agency is
Then
crazy.
Lillard. Then
I'm a
Harden.
Bulls fan, so it's
Singleton.
like
And at the three, the small forward.
I don't know what LA's doing.
I love this event so much.
And I'm not saying that like I don't respect their picks. I'm saying, God dog, don't you only get like 15 people? It's like, God dang. It is after a while when you keep hearing everybody going to the Lakers, Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, you know, it's a bunch of them. You sitting there like, God dang, how many niggas you want?
That kind of be pretty typical in
How
this
many niggas y'all gonna get?
maybe a different story, but the first
God
half
dang, they got the white back.
Now here's Lillard.
You know what I mean? Like after a year,
Pass to
I think
Jokic.
Dwight really thought he was gonna win in 76ers with Doc and
In the
Joel
corner,
Embiid.
Harden, pocket six.
I think that's his mindset. That
Fires the jumper from the corner.
I did it in LA, I can do it in Philly.
Got 5 points so far.
Can you though?
he is looking confident.
I'm always sketchy about Philly,
They're using him so far.
and probably because of the same reason a lot of people are.
Crazy after seeing that finish.
Ben Simmons can't shoot, and you don't know if Joel Embiid's gonna stay healthy. It is what it is.
Sinks the three-pointer. 8 points for him.
Why don't never just pass it? Sometimes it's just, when I move out like that, I'm pushing the tempo. I know y'all ain't my team. I know y'all ain't my teammates. But god dang,
Starts against Lillard.
that should apply when you actually are playing with your team. Like when I'm playing Miami, they should know to just go ahead and pass it to them. Maybe not the first season, but after a while, certain things should just.
Okay, well, let's go down to
That's how advanced videos games should probably be. Well, that's how advanced sports video games should be, probably. At this point. Especially going into 2K. I mean, going into PS5, the next gen series.
Sounds inconceivable, guys, but I guess we'll see.
Of course.
clearly a foul.
Of course it's a foul.
2 shots coming up.
Lillard is really a force of nature. I mean,
I wouldn't be on point with that one. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those.
The disrespect. Y'all need to put park dunks in. If somebody buys park dunks like that, you might as well put it in the regular game too.
Pass it to Jokic.
Don't wait the All Star Weekend. Let us use that too. It just gives you more to work with, especially if you especially if you have restrictions on. I don't think you get too many restrictions on park dunks. Actually, you probably have some of the same. Actually, I'm saying like, well, not necessarily from a position wise. You have it from an attribute situation. So
And here are the East All-Stars. Here's Starks. Score the
that's a
bucket.
bucket. Anyways, yeah, I think you
5 of 7.
get a
His presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team.
Get
He's a
one for
fallback
that.
option whenever they need one.
Jokic with the bounce pass.
lost train of thought. You get like restrictions as positions. Like I can't have with this build. I can't have LeBron James dunk. With my level scorer, I can't have any dunks.
You can just see the passion and love.
Which that don't make any sense. Like 2K has to realize, even though Clay doesn't dunk like that, he's still 6'7" and actually has the ability to do it. So therefore, my 3-love score is about 6'7" himself.
And you know, guys, when you're
What
pouring
6'7" player
making
you know
explosive
can't
plays at the
actually
rim,
dunk?
I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, maybe you don't put the dunk rating high on my cousin Tremont because he's like 5'10", 5'9", but I got clips on the on Instagram where he legitimately can dunk, and he's not even tall. So that just shows you that it like 2K, everybody should have a chance to dunk at some point. You shouldn't have so many restrictions on certain things. Like I said, my guard can't do LeBron's, but my 3-love score can't do any. My playmaking shot creator, he can do a little bit. And he actually should be able to do more than that as far as choices of what he can add to his arsenal. Of course, because this is a slasher build, I darn near, even with me not being able to get somebody like LeBron or Dominique or maybe Scottie Pippen or something like that, I still can get most of the best guards. I would love to get Vince too. I don't think you can get Vince either. So that's what I'm talking about. You should be able to. And you got like they give you like 12 to 15 slots. I don't have 12 different dunks. I got Westbrook. I got Zach LaVine. I probably got about 9 or 10 different ones. And of course, you don't it's not big. You don't pick all, players. Because I got switcheroos. And the only reason why I get switcheroos is because that's something I would actually do. When me and my homies would play, and we'll lower down the goal and play like 21 dunk out, similar to Tip, except you're dunking, obviously. That's what we would do. I mean, that's what I would do. I would switch hands while I'm going up because I had the hops and I wasn't like no Air Jordan, but I got air. I got enough air. I didn't get the height, so I guess I got some air and some hops.
That's the way it always is. I mean, a half-court alley-oop or a spectacular behind-the-back pass, that's exactly what the people want to see in this game.
Oh, wow.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim, that's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
No good on the three.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean,
Yeah, that's mad confusing. 2K, you could have did that better with the optics. I know the East is supposed to be blue, but you got the jersey switched a different way, so it's like, but you could have, oh crap, what the heck am I doing? I didn't realize I had Durant. I forgot I'm on takeover. Team takeover. That's the beauty of team takeover, though. You can abuse the system the way you want to. One of my former coworkers was telling me about that. He's like, man, I don't really be trying to build up to use that. I'm like, bro, just build it up. When you get it, you can pad your stats. Like, if you feel like you need to get a little bit more assists that night, and you get a team takeover, because you control everybody, you can force yourself to give up the ball and actually make a decent shot. Well, that wasn't a decent shot.
Jacks up a three. They get it back. Fast to Francis.
Ooh, he got blocked. Thought you was upcoming superstar, bro. Minnesota. That's the only team that's beat me this season. Just some bull. Like, they do it. 2K will do that for some reason. Sometimes it just be like OP defense for whatever reason. Like, you still get in your bag, do what you want to do. But they will not. This is how you know 2K is like low-key cheating you and you're about to lose. When you can't get back into the game Like, you can't get past 5 on a deficit or 4. You keep shooting back up to 10 to 15. They keep making runs. Everybody on the team misses easy shots. You know, stupid stuff like that. The disrespect. That's what this is what y'all should be doing, USA. You'll be blowing them out. Y'all shoot too much, man. I know. This is the era. This is a different era. Oh, you're such an old head. Like, dude, you know what opens up those shots? That y'all have the ability to shoot? Attacking the basket. It is what it is. And see, when you go in a drought, y'all act like y'all don't know what to do. There's other things besides the three-point line. And that's why some of us older people put an emphasis on that crap. Because y'all act like I've seen it happen in past playoffs and stuff like that. When James Harden and it was, I saw it back-to-back playoff games. James Harden and the Rockets, I can't even remember who was first that day. It was Boston that had to play, obviously in the East, whoever they played. And they went on a drought. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. And all they was doing was, first of all, they were actually doing that in the beginning of the game, attacking the basket. Same thing with Rockets. Both nights, both teams were doing what they're in their bag, doing what they're supposed to do in the beginning of the game, attacking the basket, spreading the floor, moving the ball around, hitting shots. Then they got infatuated with shooting jump shots, and started missing them, and then they couldn't get back on defense, and then they couldn't. Then they didn't realize they needed to go back to attacking the basket. Nigga, don't be a pussy all your life. That was I wouldn't even call for the ball. When I saw you do that, I said, "Oh, he don't want it. He don't want it." Guess who wants it? Prodigy wants it. Like, you a sucker, man. You really just stopped. Like, you had easy too. For what? Alright, do you, man? Like, I legit was not going. I was gonna let him do what he had to do in that situation. Because if the lane was wide open, alright, cool. Get your shine on, Francis. Nope, he don't want it. I ain't wasting no time when I see that. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, nice, Bo. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that's what happens too when you attack the basket. You also get the other team in foul trouble and stuff too. So you have to be, you have to be aware of that. Also, you can get the team in foul trouble. You go to the line, especially if you can shoot. So if you can shoot, you get extra time. I average on the game about 14 makes from the line. That's 14 extra points.
And that one misses. An athletic forward with a versatile.
And now, obviously, it's a video game, man. Like when you translate it to real life, not everybody's going to be able to. You're not going to average 14 points at the line. But James Harden was one of those guys that could legit do that. He's quick. He's a lefty. Left-handers are kind of deceptive players. He's bigger than most of the guards because he's about 6'5", kind of bulky. He's quick and fast at the same time. Of course, he can dribble. So I mean, like, I can't even remember who they played both of those series because it was like 3 or 4 years ago when they did that. But I'm just like, bro, you gotta. If you're not making the threes, you gotta go. And that's what I'm saying about the Olympics. You're sitting there shooting jump shots, and it's like, bro, if they not hitting, go inside. They'll open back up. Because if you can dominate them inside, Like, you're too talented to be having these struggle games. I understand international game has stepped up a lot. We see it. We see what, oh my God. You, that's disrespectful. Prodigy, why'd you do him like that? Really? I wouldn't even done nothing. Once, you should have caught him on the bounce. What you should have did in that situation was, as soon as you see him bounce the ball like that, knock the ball out the way. Obviously, the guy that fouled me was not in the area to do that, but somebody could have knocked the ball out the way. You jump up. It's too late once that happens. Especially if you let me get to the height of the dunk, the peak of it. Like what? It's a wrap, bro. What you doing out here?
Does not find the basket. His second miss. He's now 1 for 3.
This is ridiculous. My guy is super fast on here too. Like I'd be like, dang. Like when I play, I've been playing with some of my other builds, and I'm like, with the other builds, I have to be patient in how I move the ball and stuff like that, which actually helps. Like that should be your reason behind making different builds, because I mean you learn how to play a little bit more effectively. Like with my 3-level score, you know, the shooting, it's, well, not the shooting, but moving without the ball is the biggest thing. With my playmaker shot creator, I pretty much handle the ball most of the time. I am the 2 guard. I am supposed to be the off guard, but I have my cousin starting on there, and I know he gonna pass the ball because he do that in real life. They literally have him do that on there, and they have him do that on the game too. But he caught fire one game. I was feeding it to him when I was playing recently. So.
Tough shot that time by Jokic, finishing through contact.
Like I was catching him with catching him with open shots on the fast break. So he caught that, and then he hit some threes. He missed that game. He only put up like 15 though, but still he caught fire in that small. That was like a small movement. But yeah, my playmaking shot creator, he's not as fast. He's still one of the faster ones, because the other 2 guys are bigs, and the offensive threat is not all the way up to par anyways. My offensive threat is not even in the 90s like everyone else. The disrespect.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. And we know what that can do.
Yo, what's good, Ernie? I didn't even see I didn't see your comment. I'm not looking at the laptop, that's why. Sup? 2 times.
Lillard looking around. Shot clock at 6. But they get it there.
Yeah, just nice hustle there. That work gets them extra possession.
You know, if you get open, you can bet that Jokic is going to find you. His floor awareness is strong.
I don't know what the Bulls gonna do though, because now I'm like looking at this. I'm looking at the lineup with the Bulls, and I'm like, wow, we might actually be able to put some work in on the line. Like we were with Zach LaVine, you know, Kobe White and some other people, even before Kobe White, because Kobe White only been there 2 years. Zach's been there a little bit longer. But we've had a lot of games that were close. We've beat teams we shouldn't have beaten. So now I'm looking at it. Me and my homie Tyson are probably looking at it like, this might get us over the hump. You got DeRozan, 6'7", you know, about 220.
27 seconds left in the first
I think around that size. You know, mid-range, more of a mid-range shooter, get to the bucket type of guy. You know, give you about 20. Zach can give you about 25. At least he did last season.
Levine's checked in for the
Of course,
East.
Lonzo's
And
got better at
Westbrook making
shooting.
the switch. Young's checked in.
Lonzo has these ridiculous passes too. That's something he never, like, we never questioned that, was the playmaking ability. Like, I think his dad just messed up a lot of that stuff as far as, like, and it really comes down to the competitor in you. Like, because even people that don't even play, don't play in the NBA, the fans, we were like, yo, what? Like, if you play ball,
And so it's the East All-Stars in very good shape with a
oh, life is
43-1
good,
lead at the end
just
of the quarter.
working,
From the
you
field,
know,
they have
mostly.
outstanding,
That's
amazing
mostly what
shooting.
I'm doing, just
That's
working.
West Ham
So
headed to a blowout. And we'll be back with you shortly.
every now and then I'll stream, but not really that much. I'll probably get back on really trying to stream a lot more if I can get this dang on PS5. Yeah, dang on, I'm from the South. But yeah, like,
1 half remaining in the NBA All-Star game. Good to have you along.
oh, I was talking about Lonzo. Lonzo, like everybody, like I think the first team that Lonzo had to play was Clippers. So Pat Bev was on there, and I'm like, yo, that's what you're gonna have to deal with night after night. Is your father talking about people? Because if I'm in the league and I hear that nonsense and I'm a vet and I'm a point guard, I'm locking you up.
You know, Antetokounmpo, for all of his skills,
Or maybe not even like, because some of these guys are not defensive guys or stuff like that. But I'm saying I'm murdering you on the buckets. So I'm like, however you get into your bag as a player. That's really what I mean. Like, I gotta drop 50 if like I gotta drop 50 on you if I'm Dame. Soon as Lonzo comes. His dad did not help those type of situations. That's all I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
And he makes the first.
one of the hardest and trickiest covers in the league. Harden.
It was kind of good that he went from LA. I don't think he would have. I'm not saying he wouldn't have flourished in LA, but it was kind of, in retrospect, kind of good for him to get away from LA and be able to just kind of carve his own path because yeah, Magic there. Of course, you had his father bloviating the situation and stuff like that. But like I said, I like Lonzo because of the playmaking, but I was sketchy on the shooting. The shooting's gotten better in the last 2 years. And he's not aggressive at points. I've seen games where, you know, in those last 2 years with the Pelicans, where he actually was being a little bit more aggressive.
Singleton with it.
Who you gonna watch the Dipset? This actually might be the first verses I watch. And there's been a lot of good verses to watch. It's just that I've been like, like I've been leery of it because I'm just like, yeah, I understand from a hip hop perspective. I'm like, yo, yeah, let's big up everybody. That it's a celebration, basically. That's what Swizz and Timberland are saying. But I get leery about it because I'm just like, I don't think it's fair, especially growing up in the era that me and you grew up in. It's mixtapes and album based. So I don't think, like, I think when you go up head to head, songs should resonate. Like there's certain songs that we heard that resonate, but it wasn't a hit. It's on the album. And there's certain songs that had both. Like, I'm just like, okay. But yeah, this would probably be the first one I watch. But because it's Dipset and the Locks. Come on. Like, I mean, I probably should have watched Jada and Fab too, though, because that would have been down my lane. And there's some other ones that was down my lane too, because DMX and Snoop, and Like, don't get me wrong, there was a bunch of them that were definitely in my lane to watch, but and see, Dipset might have an edge. Everybody's kind of going with Dipset, but the reason why
It's really easy to
is
understand
because
why
Dipset. Not saying that Locks don't have hits,
about the Tecumpo. I mean,
but if you base it on solely on hits, then like
and he's team first in his approach.
Dipset might have more. Like, don't get me wrong, the Locks got some hits.
Here's Lillard. 14
Like,
points for him.
people don't. I don't think people realize niggas done started something. Like, there's a lot of little joints that they're on. What do you add Band on TV? Band on TV has 2
Gone 9 of 10 from the line, so
out
making
of 3 of the
most their
Locks,
chances.
which Cameron's on too though. But he's not. But it ain't two out of 3 of Dipset either though.
Good. So for the West, Anthony Davis is
So,
stepped in for Jokic.
and they did it better than most people did. Like, there was jabs all like the last 2-3 weeks. What? Just jabs going. Ghost and Jim was just going in. Like, it's ridiculous how they was going in. And of course I'm gonna see it. I follow Jim Jones and I follow Styles. So every time I go on my phone, of course, I just sit there and laugh. And it's so typical. It's so typical New York. Like, and I'm not saying that because I'm like I know New Yorkers or anything. I'm just saying, like, from what I've seen, especially I'm talking about especially New York rappers, from what I've seen growing up in that era, it's so them. Like, the humor, the wittiness, the snapbacks, you know, just everything coming, the quick deliveries, you know, the creativity. It's just that's what I'm accustomed to seeing from those guys. Jim Jones, you know. Even Freaky was doing some stuff on, because I follow Freaky. Freaky was posting stuff, you know. Cam and Joel's really wasn't doing that much. Cam did today though. See Jadakiss and he saw the locks. He saw the locks at the Diamond District. That was hilarious. Cause Cam probably one of the funniest rappers that we ever, you know, and we not just talking about rapping, we talking about just general talking.
Yeah, they've not missed a
That
single
joint is
foul shot this half.
Cam. I got a clip of Cam. It's off of Drink Champs that I had to put on one of the mixed videos that I did of my player on here, cause he was just like, Nori asked him, you ever had to be humble? And that man was like, no. That was so hilarious. And he's like, no, I look in the mirror and I talk myself up and all this stuff. And I was like, yo, he said, shoot, even when I'm on the treadmill, I walk how I feel like I'm gonna walk on the block and all this stuff. And I was like, yo, that's Cam all day. That's what you expect from Cam. So, I mean, like I said, like, Locks got some hits, though, because every time I think of the Locks, I think about niggas done started something. That's one of the, and the other one I think about is Blackout. Because that Blackout is crazy. And you don't want to skip on Blackout, but you low-key want to skip on Blackout because DMX and Jay-Z go, it just keeps going. It gets better and better. And there's no disrespect to Jada and all that. Like, it's dope in the beginning, so you don't want to skip. But at the same time, you want to hear X and Jay-Z at the end of that one. Oh man, Blackout is crazy, man.
Well, Greg, one thing we know for sure, you know that every player who earned a spot on this roster is
Shoot, the Locks was on 24 hours to live. Of course, you got Reservoir Dogs. Like, come on, guys. Like, that's why I'm just like, it's kind of bad to just sit there and try to
chance, if you
That's
will, to
that's
share
why I'm
something.
always
It's one of the
sketchy
great
about
things about the All-Star game.
the verses, because it's like, are we gonna solely go about like I'm a diehard G Unit fan, like bigger than Locks or Dipset. Dipset's pretty close when it comes to But if I gotta go, if I'm going all three, it's G Unit. I'm a G Unit dude, and I'm like, yo, I think 50 kind of doesn't want to do it because he knows everybody's just going to look at Get Rich or Die Trying, because that's what everybody always says about 50. It's like, oh, that first album was dope, and they negate everything else, and I'm like, so y'all niggas want to listen to the mixtapes? And that wasn't his only album. For me, I can listen to all the albums as far as I'm concerned, but I'm a diehard. But like I said, like with G Unit, I'm like, yo, specifically with G Unit, Dipset, and the Locks, Fab, Lil Wayne, who else was tearing down the game? Like, those were like the heavy hitters. Of course, yeah, the Locks, yeah, I already said that. All those guys, they were killing the mixtape games, like on a high level. And so, to me, that's what you incorporate, because there's literally mixtape songs that some of us know word for word. Jay Farrell proved that on this interview that I watched the other day. Well, not the other day. I watched that a while ago. I've watched it multiple times because it was so ill that he was able to do that. He recited the whole Victory freestyle. Well, not 50's part, because they were talking about Lloyd Banks. Because Lloyd Banks' album had came out recently. So they were talking about, and it's ridiculous. That's a 20-year-old freestyle. And it's a mixtape song. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's some songs that have both of that marriage, and Dipset has accomplished that. That's the crazy part about my era of hip hop, or our era of hip hop. It's like it's commercial, but it ain't really commercial. It just happened to hit the billboards. Because sonically people liked it, and they were moving, shaking it, moving, and whatever, But at the same time, it had all the slick lines, all the content, that the gangster content that you wanted and stuff like that. But it just had the beat. It hit the charts like it's supposed to. Like, cause Jay has songs like that. Song Cry. It resonates with you heavy, but it's a hit though. Like, it had a video and everything. So there's songs clearly that have that marriage of that can not only resonate. And I know a hit don't always resonate, because just cause something hot don't mean it's dope to everybody. It just means that's the new hot thing. Cause A Bay Bay, I did not like that. I didn't like Hurricane Chris. I didn't like that whole movement of Soulja Boy, Hurricane Chris, all those, And Soulja Boy actually did his thing. If we look back in retrospect, we go, well, dang. Even though I did not rock with him. Till this day, I don't rock with him. But he did bring in a new wave, and he was producing stuff. So he's making money the whole time. And he did put a lot of people on, which is crazy to think about that. But I wasn't feeling that. I gave him a chance. I listened to the whole album. I remember that. Going back to college my sophomore year, I remember that. The album came out right around the time I was going back to school. Because I had already seen the Crank That. They obviously they dropped the Crank That. That's when he blew up. And then he blew up so much that they did the video. So I saw the video. Actually, when I was at work at a summer job, we knew when it was gonna premiere, so we sat down and watched it. And then when I went back to school, his album dropped. Listened to every song, and I was like, nah. I can't get with it.
And we welcome you back. The biggest stars of the league are putting
So I mean, like,
at the All-Star game.
but yeah, Dipset, I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. Dipset, the Locks. And you know there's gonna be like crazy antics coming on. You know there's gonna be like crazy stuff that they're gonna do as far as
So that's the 5 in the game for the East All-Stars.
because especially Dipsets are they're characters.
Free throw good starts.
They all got their own personalities. They all. I think that's one of the reasons why those guys resonated with our era so much is because it's just certain people like Wayne qualifies in that conversation too. Even though I wasn't a big Wayne fan. Like that second album, the Carter 2, that was dope, but I really didn't vibe with Wayne that way. I'm a nigga from the South that vibe with more New York rap than anything. I don't know if it's because my parents are, well, my dad's from the South, but I don't know if it's because I have family from up north, even though they're from Connecticut, but you're still in that area where the music is going to be right at your access. It's right in that same area, that tri-state area. So I don't know if that's something that just innately happened or whatever, but outside, T.I.'s in my top 5. If I go down the list and show you my top 10, yeah, I got one Southern guy and one Midwest guy. Everybody else is New York, and most of them are Queens. It's G Unit. Well, it's not Yayo, but still. I like Yayo too, but Yayo's not in my top 10. I don't even think I have Yayo in mine. I don't know where I have. I probably have up to 20 that I can give you as far as maybe up to 15 as far as I can give you. And it's still New York rappers. That's the crazy part about it. It's still New York rappers. And my list might sound weird because sometimes it depends. Like, sometimes, it's not really about bars all the time. You'll look at most of mine and you'll go, dang, bars. But some people don't hit. 50 don't really have. He's not scary lyrical. And he's number 1 on my list. So that would be a weird part of the list as far as people look at really 50, because I've heard it over the years. I've heard it so many times over the years. 50 this, 50 that. What? You like 50? Da-da-da-da. I like Get Rich or Trying, but everything like the Massacre didn't go multi-platinum. Stop. And I had a recent coworker do that to me too. Like, he was a white kid, but still, like, he was like, and he mentioned exactly what I was thinking that people would say about the Massacre. Candy Shop, just a little bit. Those are singles, guys. And see, that's part of the reason why I'm like, really? That's what Versus is? Are we gonna just do hits? Like, hits matter, but at the same time, like I said, depending on who you picking it out with, especially when you talk about hip hop, we got a lot of mixtape songs. There's a lot of guys that had some mixtape songs that resonated. So I'm sitting there like, but yeah, he was like that. I'm like, okay. But anybody that liked the Massacre probably wasn't listening to Candy Shop and just a little bit. Mostly, or So Amazing. Even though that wasn't a single or a hit. It was Candy Shop, just a little bit, Disco Inferno, stuff like that. In My Hood can't be a single. Guns Come Out can't be a single. This is what? And he had a video for almost every song, and that because we're going into YouTube and stuff like that, so YouTube's like starting to really ramp up, and social media is starting to ramp up too around that time. I mean, that's still 2005, so not so much, but still.
Or maybe all 3, triple double like.
So I mean, like,
Clark, a lot of fans ask us
It was
qualifies
my
as
favorite song on the Massacre is the Baltimore Love thing. That's not a single. You can't.
What do you think?
Well, I think there is some gray area because the
Because it's a
problem we have, one of the
conversation
problems is a number of
between
veterans out there
the
have
drug
become
and the
a
drug
master
user.
at getting a little extra
It's just like you can't.
which borders on illegal in
It's
any
not a
case.
single. It's
So
not
the
It's
league
not
is doing a
palatable
pretty
to
good
be a
job of
single.
clarifying. If you're moving the
Candy
ball
Shop
up
was
the
because it's
body
about
to
women,
help
you know,
a teammate with your screen,
partying,
that should be
sex, and
called
stuff like that.
offense.
So
It is called as illegal.
just a
Hip
little
check,
bit, sex,
shoulder, any of that to set a screen is
women, stuff like that. So it's palatable. Disco Inferno, partying.
And the West All-Stars have possession.
See, and that's always the thing. 50 always slips in gunplay or some kind of drug talk or something in between those songs anyway. You'll hear him like slip that in the verse, and you're like, okay. He still somehow said something gully or gutter in there, and you're just like, okay.
I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
But it's like, come on, man.
And here's Young.
Like, if that's the only argument you have for me for Massacre and it was multi-platinum album,
And Jokic with the
I can't even.
basket.
I don't even respect what you're saying. Like,
Young's got his
I don't
fourth
even
assist in
respect
this
what
one.
you're saying because it was like there was so many grimy other joints on there. It's like it's darn near. It's almost 20 cuts, just like Get Rich or Die Trying. Like he loaded up the album.
Unreal. How about the hang time on that thing? Wow.
It's just as much as he
Well,
did
you
with the
gotta have
first
some
one.
hang time if you're going to pull off that 360, and he certainly has some.
So I'm just looking at it like,
Six to shoot, and Young kicks to
Curtis could have been more than that.
some solid
It may
defense
not be.
from it.
It may not be as good as Get Rich or Die Trying or
Now
Massacre.
guarded by Towns.
But if 50 would have just 50 sometimes shoots himself in the foot when he talks like that. Like that works for him, but at the same time sometimes people get tired of it. And I saw that coming early on. I'm just like, because he talks about everybody, makes fun of everything, and he just won't stop. He won't stop talking about it.
Another miss by
To the
Jokic.
point he was talking about his own company. He was talking about Interscope. So in a way, you know, I think Interscope stopped really. They really didn't promote it. And he had singles on there. I Get Money is probably In the Club Part 2, even though In the Club is the biggest record.
Some tough offensive sets.
That's his biggest record. Period. There's nothing else touches. And all of us will say, Mini Men, we love Mini Men. That's probably everybody's favorite on Get Rich or Die Trying. Well, maybe not everybody's favorite, but it's definitely, you know, that top 5 in the Get Rich or Die Trying. It's my favorite. Because, you know, people like patiently waiting too. But I mean, like, he definitely had, I think he tried to, it was going to be commercial. Curtis is supposed to be commercially great. And at this point, it probably is multi-platinum at this point.
On offense, here are the
But
West All-Stars.
in his debut, it went gold, basically.
And Young kicks to Collins.
So, you know, obviously, the more you keep selling, the more it only goes up.
122
And
left in
then,
the fourth
before I self-destruct, you try to go back to the grimy stuff, and
Starks outside.
I think people just through with it. But like I said, I listened to all his albums, so I didn't care. I feel like he should have put War Angel out as an album,
One of his favorite moves right
as far as
there,
I'm
guys.
concerned.
Does it as
War
well
Angel
as
would have
anybody,
been,
fellas. Tremendous
and War Angel
skill
came out
while in
like
the
a
air.
week after or
Outside Collins.
a day after or something like. He would do that crap too. He'd drop
56 seconds left in the fourth
a
quarter.
mixtape sometimes before or right after the album came out. So that was War Angel to me was that's an album to me.
To be aggressive scoring.
Because they got into the point, G-Unit got to the point where they were using original music to do mixtapes.
Vucevic checked in for Davis. Singleton comes in for John Collins. And it's Russell Westbrook. in
I
for
think that's
Kyrie
where the
Irving.
argument comes down with Dipset and G-Unit when it comes to mixtapes. who was doing it first.
The key for him is just staying healthy.
Cause Cam's like, yo, we was doing it
If they want to have a chance to turn this thing
before
around,
them and stuff like that. I'm like,
take
were you?
It seems like he's been hesitant to pull the trigger. And
But they
credit
might
the
have.
whole
Cam was
team.
there
It was a
before.
focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any
You know,
hope
cause
of a
he was
comeback?
there, you know,
Diminished.
with and
Young passes to Westbrook.
you know,
And Westbrook throws it down.
even before that, you know, even before he got signed, he was. I think he was on. I think he said he was on Big L's.
Yeah, you
On the
know, I
Big
agree
L
with you. They
songs
waited
on his
too
album.
long to finally ramp themselves up.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for
Oh
sure.
wow,
Yes, indeed.
that's how you know it's All-Star Weekend for me. I didn't even realize how much I had scored already.
To the wing on the left.
What time is it?
Here's
Okay.
Jokic. Got a piece of it.
I still got at least an hour.
Here's Starks.
Oh,
my
God.
goodness. What a play. Between the legs, and he dunks it
Yeah,
home.
and 2K will not fix that on here. This is another All-Star MVP,
All-Stars winning this one easily.
and it has 0 on my on your little stats where you show your awards. Where you go to your My Stats and you go to the awards label, it has 0 All-Star.
It seems to get better and better every
It's like, oh, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal from an optics perspective. How do you have it in your My Court? How you have the trophy in the My Court and have 0 for the optics? My career is all about optics, bro. I don't give a darn. If you play My Career, it's about optics. That's all it's about. Cause you wanna be better than everybody that ever played. Cause right now I'm number 2 all-time scoring. One reason, cause I ain't having a PlayStation 5 yet. I wouldn't even have got to that point. I probably would have been top 10.
Thank you.
Because I am scoring at a ridiculous clip. This is giving me like 2K13 vibes. 2K12
Hey, man, this is Kenny, man. I
vibes.
thought your coach did a great job
the
on the
very-
offensive end to get you open. Getting you into a rhythm was important.
Like the very
What was he
beginning.
telling you before the game?
The very beginning, I was just like, well, no, the very
Just to
beginning,
be ready.
I was struggling.
We knew
'Cause
there might be some
2K10
opportunities that we could exploit.
2K10
My teammates worked hard to give me the
was
shots
rough.
on time, in rhythm.
With Kobe
I
on the
appreciate the trust
cover.
they had in me, man. I make the headlines, yeah, because that's a lot of points, but everyone in our family, they do their part.
They did their part, but you do get the headlines, brother.
It was rough. They start you at 40 overall. I don't think you, well, you probably could have used VC if you was connected to the internet. I don't think most of us at that time was connected to the internet like that for 2K. I know I wasn't. I gotta play the Bulls next. It's not personal, it's business. Was that from The Godfather? Yeah, but who won the dunk contest? That's the only reason why I'm looking at this. Team James fall again. This time, the Team Prodigy. 6 losses in a row. Yeah, he's lost to me every time. If that's what we've played. I know I've played James Harden's teams multiple times. And I let him get the guards. You can get all the guards you want. I'm gonna get versatile wings and bigs. I don't need no guards when I got Prodigy. I am the guard. The Heat show. Been crunching numbers and the Heat remain atop. Duh, we only lost one game. So y'all not gonna say who won the dunk contest? I guess it's not gonna show up until I play the next game or whatever.
We've been talking so much NBA 2K21, but we wanted to stop and take a moment to thank you guys for tuning in and joining us for 45 episodes in NBA 2K20.
We've had so much fun connecting with you all over this past season.
So as we put NBA 2K20 to a close, we take a look back at our favorite moments on NBA 2K TV. Check it out.
Welcome to this very special episode of NBA 2K TV. I'm Alexis Morgan.
And I'm Chris Manning. Special episode because we have reached
All right, suited and booted. Donovan Mitchell, this is ridiculous. This is like, this makes Pat Riley, this even grows the legend of Pat Riley even more. Even though this is not real. This would, but if this happened, this would grow the legend. He was already a legend, but this would just keep on. And it makes Spo like the, arguably one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest coaches ever. You were able to win with Dwayne Wade and LeBron, and he was able to win with Prodigy, Starks, and Jimmy Butler. Then Prodigy, Starks, Jimmy Butler, DeRozan, AD, and Blake Griffin. Then you added Greek onto the team. Then you added, who else did I add on here? Well, right now I got KP and Donovan Mitchell, and D Book. I just do it because I can. Their numbers are gonna go down because they don't make buckets, but they're supposed to. The sad part about it, I'm still averaging about 11 assists. I think my third season was my highest. It was like 15. I was like legitimately averaging 15 and still knocking about 80 points, maybe 77 in that range. 77 probably to 80 in that range. And it's like, bruh, y'all gotta make buckets then. If you're averaging 50, then that means consistently on nights you're doing at least 16, maybe 20. For you to keep up 15, you're doing more than 15 on a pretty considerably high level, basically. That's one thing I wish they would start doing too. Just because you got other superstars on your team, everything should be a focal point on your player. Especially when you playing at a high level. Everybody you watch, Chris Move, Stack Montana, iPod King Guard because he plays Gento, because I watch a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys, like, bruh, come on. They dominate. And they don't play like I play. Like Stack be on the wing, and Stack move the ball around and stuff like that. I'm not saying I don't. Like I said, I've averaged. I average assists at a high clip, but my approach to the game is attack. Prodigy is attacker. Now some of the other builds make it easier. The different builds I have in Prodigy make it easier to like my 3-level scorer. Going to Sacramento was, oh God, I caught a body. Going to Sacramento with my 3-level scorer after leaving the Bulls after that 1 year. And that's a marriage made in heaven right there. De'Aaron Fox and Starks getting double-digit assists on the night. Like, I'm getting 20, he's still getting about 10 to 15 himself. It's like, what? And I'm playing off the ball. Like, of course, if playing the 3, you're gonna get the ball. at points, but you don't get the ball. I'm not getting the ball like LeBron.
And here in the first, closing
Yeah,
in
well,
on
then
2 minutes
again,
play.
if I looked at my usage rate, if I look at the stats, my usage rate actually might be higher than everybody in the league. But it's a different approach to the game. You're still attacking,
To the middle.
but since you're a 3-level scorer, you're like, you're mixing it up. You're going to the basket, all I can do is lay up.
Tracking the ball, blocking the shot.
You shoot in the mid-range, and then you shooting the 3-ball.
For Miami, they've gotten their first 3 shots
Yeah,
to go in
and
for.
contested threes too, because he can hit them like that.
Dunks aren't always for the big fella.
A serious
My playmaking shot creator is about the same type of approach.
He wanted to make a statement.
The Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today.
And then my bigs,
Outside, marking it.
my biggest advice to anybody for 2K is like, bruh, don't go to the Knicks if you're big.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up.
Because you will still drop 50 and still lose. Because they have no guard play.
The reach and leaping
And they need
ability
guard play.
paired with his timing make him a premier rim protector. And what sets him over the top?
Like, they got better this year, obviously, but this is, I'm playing 2K20, so they didn't really have no, they had RJ Barrett as a rookie. And now even RJ's not even there. Like, as soon as his contract went up, he went to New Orleans.
Because he knows he makes a living at the line.
But that shows you how this game is kind of
Even initiates it.
doing, it's trying to trend in the same way that you're trending. Because they try to load up some teams.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that
Because the
against
Pelicans had RJ with Zion, and they had somebody else on there. They tried to load up certain teams. It doesn't translate the same way. Because my guys, you see what's happening? My guys are defending the rim. Well, you got 8. I got way too many bigs than I need to have. But at the same time, I got shooters and guards and versatile wings too. At the same time, you got Devin Booker on the bench. Come on, bro. What? Got Donovan Mitchell. I still got Winslow, and they only had Winslow in Miami in real life. He in Memphis. Unless something happened in free agency or something like, I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff going on happening today. So I've caught most of it, obviously, but especially since this is a day off. Sheesh.
And Kevin, the Bulls took a chance with Levine, and he's developed into a bright young star. Took another risk giving him a big contract after the injury, but he's come back better and stronger since then.
Carter right side. Just 5 on the clock. Great D that time from Davis.
Greek. All the way. Don't be a pussy. Should have dunked that.
It's come from inside the paint.
2K will never, not never, but a lot of times they will not let you fully turn the corner. If he is a full head of steam, I understand marketing is 7 feet. He's not stopping Greek. There ain't no little bump that's going to stop Greek in that situation.
Offensive rebound. Down it goes.
And it's the same thing for my player. My player is not the biggest guard out there. My player is 198. That's all I can do to keep the speed that I wanted to keep. But it's still bigger than most.
Carter kicks to Levine.
I mean, ideally, I would want to be more like Oscar Robertson as far as size. Oscar Robertson was like 210 at playing weight as a point guard. Unless I'm 6'7", then I want to be closer to what Jimmy Butler.
This is my type of
I wouldn't mind being LeBron James as far as weight goes. But they like to take away stuff like that. That's another reason why I don't play the wing too much. My wing is, wow. That's what we doing? That's how you play Drew?
Starks outside and is out of bounds. The Heat able to
Aaron
retain
Holiday
possession
just
here.
pushed me out the
And
way.
with plenty of games
He
to
knew
play,
I had it.
here's a quick
He been
rundown
reading
of
the
the
scouting
power
report.
rankings thus far. Look at Indiana. They're stuck in the same spot, still outside the top three.
And you know
Stay in
for the
front
Heat,
of
they've
him.
taken this
Try to
ride
stay
all
in
the
front
way
of him.
down the stretch. Few people thought they could maintain this astonishing
Oh, come
display
on.
of dominance.
Put it back up. Oh,
And
crap.
despite that
AD.
miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Levine against Mitchell. Levine passes to Carter.
Why did
Shoots
I
over
get
Starks, and the Bulls with another
Wendell?
miss.
Wendell.
That is the exact type of
Pass it,
opportunity
nigga.
this
What the
offense
heck? I'm
is
pressing
looking
X
to
the
create.
whole time. God dang, 2K.
More often than not, you're coming away with points.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And he's a great scorer. But Anthony Davis is.
I don't know. After all this free agency stuff, now I can figure out. Well, first of all, like I said, I gotta get PS5, but I can figure out where I actually would want to go for my career for 2K22. 2K21, I was probably gonna go Spurs, Knicks, maybe.
Parker's checked in for the Bulls.
I try not to go where somebody has a point guard.
Booker, he's checked in for Donovan
Like,
Mitchell.
obviously, you're gonna start over eventually. It only takes about
And foul on
10
the
to
shot,
20
so
games,
he'll get a
probably,
chance at the line.
depending on how well you
Turn
do.
load management now is something you hear about, read about all the time, Steve. You think we'll
Or
ever
depending
see
on
the
my
regular
career, I don't
season
know.
shortened
Sometimes
by a few games?
I say 10 to 20 because every my career wasn't the same like that. But now, you know, Spurs is still an option. I mean, I know they got DeJounte Murray, but he's not really like he's not really a big. It's not like Jamal Murray. You know what I'm saying? Or going to play for, you know. I don't want to go to Clippers so soon. I went to Clippers 2K18. That would be a good place to go, though. Because like I said, Pat Bev's not the. Who else they got at Clippers as point guard?
And the Heat with some changes.
Obviously, you don't go. Obviously, I'm not going to Milwaukee.
And it's Justin Winslow.
Toronto might be a good spot to go to.
Here's Starks.
Kyle Lowry's off. I was thought about that yesterday because he went to the the Heat.
And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Carter
And the only reason why I went to the Heat,
and it's sent back
as far as point guard position and stuff like that, is because Goran Dragic's contract was going up, so he was gonna be out. He was gonna be out of the way.
within 6 free throws of the game.
Like I said, majority of the time you're gonna be the one that starts, and he was gonna be out the way after a while. So I think he won a championship when he left.
Them both.
With Wendell Carter Jr., you love the do-it-all ability, the understanding of the game.
Starks dishes to Griffin. And
Wow,
foul on
that's
the
lazy,
shot. He'll shoot
2K.
2 at the free
That's
throw line.
lazy. It's a dunk. It's Blake. It's a dunk. Like, come on. No one's near him. You make him do the slow motion crap.
And the first one at the line is good.
The former five-star recruit, first overall pick in the draft. Griffin's been slowed down only by injuries.
And that was an easy assist. So you took an assist away from me.
Starks against
That's the
Parker.
other thing. If I get 20
Right away.
or I get 15 or something like that, that just means there's a possibility that I could have
The offensive rebound.
sometimes certain games, depending on how the game goes, could have just had like 30 ridiculously.
He should have drained.
Come on, don't. There you go.
Layup's good off the glass. And the Heat lead by
Hesitating.
11.
And you
2K
can't
gotta
help
stop
but
doing
pick
that, making
their
people
defense
stop.
apart. They're
Like, I know some people do actually do stop because they're not ready. They weren't paying attention or whatever the case may be for the ball. Oh God, Blake. Never mind. He green lighted it.
as he did with his scoring. They'd been
I know I'm faster than everybody in the league, but it's like sometimes it's like, bruh, I need you to run.
Just need to stay aggressive.
Y'all be ready to do these jump shots. I'm like, for what?
And he leaves it up and in.
Parker. Yeah,
and getting the ball
whatever.
to the rim.
Match that.
Building up a big
nigga.
They have taken charge of this game.
Play calling has been fantastic. They've been a step ahead of the defense since the opening tip.
Now the pass to Carter. Hardaway against Booker.
That's off.
And Hardaway
Oh,
gets
wow.
it to go.
Terrific play. This is why you run your offense through him and live with the results.
Starks. That is just nasty.
Athleticism on that finish. Whoa, just climbing the ladder for that 360. Stupendous hop.
Yeah, Greg, he was sky high on that finish. Chipped
Oh,
away.
come on now. Really? Man, they get rewarded for that mess.
Move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get
Extra
one.
rewarded
Right
to
when
me.
your teammate makes that kind of
Wow.
play.
The problem is your
Y'all
opponent is
would
making big
pull out
plays
the
as well.
the Jordan
I'll be
Kilgannon
curious to see the response.
at the wrong time, animation at the wrong time. Clearly I was about to get that done.
Chicago on defense, down by 12. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And defensively,
Can't go to the Hornets. That's the other team I was thinking about going for 2K21. Can't go to the Hornets.
that's obviously easier
Got
said
LaMelo.
than done.
Yes, the other team is feeding off that enthusiasm. You have to try.
We'll see what happens with Dame if Dame actually forces his way out. Maybe not, since Westbrook went to maybe he wasn't looking to go to LA though.
Carter outside.
Maybe he was looking to go to LA. Maybe he's going to the Clippers. Everybody expected Lakers,
Hold the early advantage.
because you know how the media is. They want to put out stuff like that. They just want to put out what they think somebody should go or something like that. I understand y'all got sources and stuff like that, but a lot of times now it's just speculation because y'all just throw out stuff.
The right play.
Some of it's reporting, some of it's just throwing it out there. Because now it's more about headlines than anything, and I'm not about to sit there and act like these niggas be right all the time. They don't. They have no clue what they're talking about sometimes. So they be talking about a friend of the guy. Like, nigga, if I was in the league, a friend of mine would not be telling you that information. Because I'll be the nigga that's telling you that. Because I tell you when I feel like telling you.
For these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one.
I'd probably tease it when my contract come up. I'd probably name some team on purpose.
Against Parker. Passes it to LeVert. And again, no good by Chicago.
There was a mix-up defensively.
Where did that come
I
from?
loved it.
Probably get fined. We might. I don't know. I don't think that's tampering, but at the same time, you know, maybe that's more of a disrespect to the team. So that's why I thought about it. We might get fined because the team might feel some type of way you doing that.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
LeVert the pass to Parker. Hardaway
That's
with
off.
a wide open look. They can't stop the run with that one.
Disrespect, boy, I swear.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a
Oh, I get hyped for certain arenas, man. I'm a Bulls fan, so I get hyped to go to the United Center. I get hyped to go to the Madison Square Garden. Get hyped to go to Boston. I broke Larry record scoring. I passed Larry record scoring in scoring in Boston. Of course you remember that. Of course I remember that crap.
They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we'll be right back after this.
Matter of fact, I passed Kareem in that loss to Toronto. The only loss I got for this season.
Guys who've led this team and did the things that they did. I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, you know, this is something I need to do this or.
Andre Drummond, he went to 76ers, right? I don't know how that's going to help, but he probably shouldn't be in LA because it didn't work out. I think if he had more time, if they did it around the time I thought they should have did it, but of course, you know, everybody's looking for which is a business, so obviously, but everybody's looking for the the most lucrative way of getting somebody that's possibly really good for nothing, basically. And so that's what took them so long to get Andre, because they knew they can get him for cheap. But if they got him when the speculation had started, he might have been a better asset for them.
Last game against the Thunder put on a show. He scored an incredible number.
People keep talking about he's a ball stopper and stuff like that, or I don't know, not necessarily. I think Skip Bayless said something like that, but I'm like, bigs still matter, guys. As much as you want to try to make it seem that it doesn't, I understand he may not have the perfect skill set for a big. I think a big should always be trying to expand his game regardless. But I think a big should get busy in the paint too. Because who's going to stop you? You can't teach height. Like, let's be for real. The only people that stop you is the guys that are that height and can put that pressure on. There's rarely guys that are smaller than you that can put a problem with you. PJ Tucker, you know, like there's more than just PJ. But I'm just saying, like, you know, there's clearly guys out there. You know, Jeff Green's a good defender. You know, stuff like that. So I mean, but it's rare that people can stop a 7-footer like that on a consistent basis. Honestly, if a lot of people play more like Shaq, and obviously you don't have the body, and some people don't even have the skill set that Shaq had, but I'm saying from the perspective of this, if you can draw in people and be able to kick it out like he kicked it out to Kobe and Fisher and all the other guys that he played with, the Rick Foxes and stuff like that, Shaq was really good at doing that, drawing in the defense, and he was a pretty good passer. So that's really what I'm talking about. If you can draw them in, but you would have to be able to score. You would have to be able to attack the basket. And the analytics says 3-pointers are more than 2s. Yeah, we know that, but 0 makes everything 0. One of the first things you will learn in elementary school when you're doing timetables is 0 times this is 0. So in other words, if you're not making 3s, you don't get 3 points for shooting 3s. You get 3 points for making 3s. Lord have mercy.
That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Bulls have made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10. We saw this the other day, Steve. The NBA now helping to create the Basketball Africa League. 12 teams from across that terrific continent.
Come on, let's go. Oh, the disrespect.
Amazing, and look at the elevation.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrapper.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans'
Filthy.
jaws are on the ground right now.
Wow, that's tough.
He's got 8. Pass to Markkanen.
And this is what we mean by 2KBG and stuff like that.
Knocks it loose.
Just little movements like that. That's a nice reaction, but a full spin like that just off of somebody trying to reach to make it seem like he got away with it.
Porzingis, 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
Nice pass.
I do a spin to catch you off guard. It's a quick move to catch you off to get to the lane. He spinned into me, basically. I'm like, it's not how that works.
Feeds it to Markkanen. Back to Holiday.
I'm surprised we didn't get rid of Markkanen.
The pass to Levine.
That's what I was telling one of my homies.
Just 5 to shoot.
It's like, I feel like Markkanen got to step his game up. I understand you're a 7-footer that likes to shoot, but I need you to rebound, bro. I was looking at his stats this year when the season was going on, and I'm like, bruh, this month barely had like six or 7 rebounds. I'm like, bro, you 7 feet.
The shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
And that's part of defense too. That's why it's so critical for you to be getting
The Heat leading by 23.
Patrick Williams is smaller than you, and he brought more fire to the game, and he's a rookie. Like, bro, that's how I'm looking at the lineup. To be honest with you, that's what I text to him. I said Lonzo,
Starks the best to Porzingis.
Zach, obviously, Zach Levine,
Good defense by Marcus. Some scouts question that end of the floor.
DeRozan,
He's been better than advertised.
Here's Garibaldi.
and
It's hauled in by
Williams, Patrick Williams,
Giannis has got his 5th rebound right now.
and Vooch.
And then Mitchell
Vucevic.
with the dunk.
He just powered that one down.
One of the
Because they just put out a picture, like, I think Chicago put out a picture with the 3 of them, and I'm like, you know y'all still got Vooch, though. And
124
Vooch
left in the
matters
second
in that
quarter.
situation. He ain't no Jokic. As far as, you know, he ain't no Embiid. Those like the top tier guys as far as centers, but
This is the elite defense Mitchell provides.
but he's still at least in the top 10 for bigs.
And another turnover here by Chicago.
As far as putting up numbers and stuff like that, but,
Booker's checked in.
and he has a versatile body of work. So, oh come on, I
And
passed
the
it.
Heat shooting a sweet 57%
Whatever, Greek, go
clip in
downhill,
quarter
Greek.
number 2. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
You know, we always talk about
Raise
what a
up, man.
rare
That's all you gotta
talent
do.
Giannis is, and it's true. Unrivaled athleticism and versatility.
It's his first.
Oh, and I don't
trip
take a long time to
And
shoot
he's
free
been
throws,
terrific,
Greek.
guys. I mean, the percentage right around 86%. So no doubt
Golly.
he's pleased with that.
Parker's checked in for Aaron Holiday.
I tell you, we could make a lot. I feel like my dad could make a lot of money off of these athletes for
8
that.
points for Wendell Carter.
And not a great start for him.
I
in
feel
the
like my
first, but
dad
he's
really
quickly
could improve
starting to turn it around.
a lot of the NBA players
Filthy.
Nasty. This building
free
is
throws.
stunned.
And there's somebody out there that does
And
that.
his bag of tricks there.
They just don't. I guess these guys just not using them or whatever.
Tonight, nailed 5 of them.
The guys that need it.
To the inside.
Shoot, you could ask Ray Allen for that type of help.
Fades away and sinks the
Because I was listening to Ray Allen on Knuckleheads, and he was talking about how he approached the free throw.
And it's sent back by Carter.
He would.
Levine and foul on the shot. So
He said when he was working out, he would do, go through his regular drills and stuff like that, and then he would like,
Levine loves the jump shot, but he can also
what
put
we
it on
do,
the floor and take it to
when it gets a little frustrated, or it's getting heightened, or anxious, or any type of emotion type of thing, basically while he's doing his drill, he'll go there and shoot threes, because that's usually what happens. All those type of anxiety, anger, because you just got hit, stuff like that, all those high emotion moments come when you're about to shoot the foul shot, and that's a part of being able to be successful and make them, being able to cool down, breathe, bend your knees, not arbitrarily bend your knees, because me and my dad be watching a lot of games like that, and we sitting there like, my dad be like, I don't know why he just bent his knees. He didn't even use your legs for the. Like a lot of people will just bend their knee, arbitrarily bend their knee. You're supposed to bend your knees when you shoot. Obviously, you get power from your legs. But some people just do it without even taking the. They don't use it as something to propel their shot or something that at the foul line. It's like, okay. And you can see it when they shoot the ball. You be like, okay. And then you got players hold the ball in their hand wrong. Shaq used to hold it.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, big first half, a lot of energy. What are you guys doing
Like you're
differently
not getting
tonight?
rotation.
With active hands on the defensive end, it really got us all hyped up.
Hold it like that.
And it translates to the offensive end as well too. So we're looking real good right now. We just gotta put it together in the second half too.
And your hands.
Transition really working well for you in the first half, Andre. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
It's like, bro, come on. So you can even flick your wrist anyways. You can't have it in the palm of your hand because you'll still be the same thing Shaq's doing at the tip of his fingers. You would be doing essentially the same thing in the palm of your hands. So you can't have it in the palm of your hand. You ideally have it in you have the ball resting on your fingers so you can get that that wrist, so you can move your wrist and get that flick action. And your fingers are slightly spaced out. And stand at a 45-degree angle. Your feet at a 45-degree angle.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. Anthony Davis is out there with Porzingis.
So one foot in front of the other, basically. That's what it looks like.
The burst of Zach LaVine. Once he gets a step on you, it's hard to catch up.
I don't think you have to do all of that, but that's what my dad can hit free throws like crazy. Obviously, you need to bend your knees. Obviously, the hand part, the hand stuff that I mentioned, that matters. I shoot free throws like that because that's the way he taught me. And I'm not as good as him at free throws, but still. I didn't shoot that many free throws like that either, though. My dad said when he was in high school, they had to make 100 of them, so that means you probably shot way more than 100, unless you were just unless you got that proficient, unless you were just a shooter from the get-go. You just had the talent to shoot. Some people come out there with just the ability, the talent to shoot. Some people have that talent. Some people have the talent. You know, you get athleticism, you get dribble and stuff like that.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Because the Curry's definitely got that crap. See, that's the one thing about Curry that kids need to realize. When you teach a kid and they like Curry or whatever, that's fine. Because Curry can dribble, Curry can get to the rack, Curry knows how to pass, he knows how to move without the ball, he knows how to move through screens, under screens, he knows how to do all that type of stuff. So that's a good guy to look at, but don't get infatuated with him hitting the threes like that, because he's a second generational NBA player that his daddy genetically gave him the keys to shooting. Yeah, he had to work on it. Don't get me wrong. You always got to work on it. Blood, sweat, and tears. But he gets a leg up not only that because his father, Del Curry, played in the league. He gets a leg up because you can't tell me it didn't genetically get it because his brother can shoot too. It's darn near genetics. And being and hard work and blood, sweat, and tears. But it's like, bruh, come on. You may not be able to, your daddy might not even play ball at all. Shoot, my granddad did. My granddad had to go work when he was 10, so he didn't play any sport like that. My granddad loved boxing. So if anything, maybe boxing, and because of the era, maybe baseball too. But my uncles played basketball and baseball, because my uncle Bernard played baseball, and that's why my cousin Julian, he got that same gift, because they can throw that ball.
Starts. Hard with one hand.
You know he's going to take a lot of shots out there. He's their #1 option right now.
So it ain't no guarantee. I mean, sometimes it just happens. Whatever. Sometimes for whatever reason, Jalen Rose is a second generation, and you didn't really know that until a lot of us didn't really know that until after he retired. I mean, some people probably knew, when he got drafted, because, they always give you those tidbits and stuff like that, but I was a kid when Jalen Rose got drafted, so I wasn't watching the draft like that. Put it up, nigga. What you pump faking for? See, that's cheating. That's what I mean by cheating, 2K. That's cheating. Well, people no, he's 7'4". He got it off the rim. You don't pull it back down. Now, some of these guys actually do pull it back down. I've seen DeAndre Ayton do that crap in the finals on certain plays. See? You can't tell me they ain't cheating, because that's the second time you go to do that. You don't need a pump fake. Marketing was late. You know why 2K allowed them to pump fake in that situation? Because they needed their computer to catch up. If you're not on point the way you're supposed to be, I can't control that. I can only control one player on this game. and that's Prodigy. I can only control the point guard unless it's on team takeover. It don't. So marketing, if you're not playing defense like you're supposed to be playing defense, that's on you. If I get to pass the marketing on time, I should be rewarded for doing the right thing in that moment.
Outside, out to the right wing. No good on the triple.
You don't pump fake and let the defense get there. You shoot. Matter of fact, you go down. He could have went downhill and dunked that.
Only take this team so far. He needs help from the guys around him.
Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3.
Don't even make no sense, man. Come on now.
That's tipped.
Oh, y'all tripping. And that's a turnover on me? Wow. Y'all crazy with the stats sometimes, man. The ball done exchanged 15 times. Nah, I didn't change no 15 times. But god dang. Y'all consider me touching that, okay. If I should have touched it, I should have picked it up then. Y'all just had me run through it. That's why I didn't feel like I touched it.
It's one up, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Coaches talk about young players needing to experience the playoffs to understand that level.
Dang, Zach, you only got 17. No wonder y'all getting blowed out.
Kevin, reasons why is in the playoffs, everything is taken to another level. Also, you seeing this team night in and night out.
The disrespect.
They know your plays. You know their plays. It comes down to just execution.
I gotta figure out what music I'm gonna put on this next video that I edited for Prodigy. I actually have. That's what I do when I'm not playing. When I'm not streaming. If I'm playing, I'll pick out clips and stuff like that. And put a mixtape together of basically of highlights of all play game.
And here are the Bulls now.
And then slip in some of my favorite hip hop clips, basically. This time I got like a Mano clip again. Cause Mano just be kicking some great, he just be saying some dope stuff, so that's why I be like, put Mano in there. Plus it's hip hop, Mano, Brooklyn. Of course I got a Prodigy. I found a Prodigy clip, so anytime I find a Prodigy clip, it's only right to put Prodigy on there because that's who my player's named after. Ironically, I came up with Prodigy, and Prodigy actually passed that same year or something like that. So I think somewhat
incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent.
Had to do somewhat with him passing, because right around that time I kind of, that's kind of around the time I came up with the name. Starks from John Starks, New York.
This is the shot you want right at the rim.
Knicks point guard.
The shot by Turner no good.
That was excellent contest, preventing him from making something that's usually automatic.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Shots good by Hernan Gomez.
I'm looking at Facebook. Wallow. That's why I missed that defensive sign. Oh, that's what you do? That's what you should have did. What Blake just did.
Effort by Blake Griffin. Coaches can draw up whatever they want. Sometimes it just
wow, you coming downhill and you don't even, okay. Whatever, nigga, do your thing. You don't want buckets, I guess.
Starks with the steal.
You pass it backwards, you dummy. Just pass it back to me if you say you don't want buckets, buddy.
To the middle, here's Griffin.
Yeah, don't sell me. That's the thing about Blake, but they do not like Blake consistently doing that crap. Getting to what he do. Blake signed back to Brooklyn too. I say you better. Why would you go anywhere else? Well, unless you can go to LA.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Hey, if you're
you don't want no buckets, I can tell.
You're essentially giving the shooter the look he wants.
You don't want no buckets?
Here's Starks, and he makes good on it.
Doesn't even make no
They
sense.
had no answer for him this period, and he continues to stay aggressive.
Don't want no buckets.
And so it's Parker with it. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They get a hand on it.
Oh, that would. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's 5 right there.
Here's Starks.
Oh, they are like stealing it. It's such a struggle, bud.
Ridiculous in this game.
They will not let you get it. They rarely let you get it clean. And then they catch you off guard sometimes because computer just allows you to get the steal sometimes.
Shooting 8 of 15.
Like you jump up or you intercept it or something. Like you just be in the lane at the right time sometimes and get the steal. That's one thing I wish I had on this guy on my game. If I could rebound, which it helped. How you eliminate that situation is you just get bigs. Because you get the bigs to pass you up the ball real quickly. But if I could rebound, I would be pushing up the tempo like that every single time. So you can't dictate that every time when a big gives it, because Blake's dumb tail will bring up the ball. Greek too sometimes, or bring up the ball. I'm like, you got guards, bro. You don't need to bring up the ball.
Look at the schedule for Chicago. On Saturday,
You got the guard, matter of fact. But yeah, we got guards, man. Especially when you playing with. I'd rather them give the ball early on when me and Jimmy were playing. Me, Jimmy, Tyler, Hero. I'd rather you give the ball to one of us. On this team, the way it's constructed, give it to me. Give it to Robinson, that's on the bench. Give it to D-Book. Donovan Mitchell. Like, we got plenty of options for ball handlers to go. I don't need Blake to bring up the ball. I don't need Greek to bring up the ball. I don't need none of them niggas to bring up the ball like that. Miles Turner. We got enough guards.
The first free throw is good. So he makes one.
Nice rebound. Let's go.
As the second one misses.
Just not much success.
Wow, that's tough. He shouldn't have even been on me. I'm already ahead of you, bro.
Guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different score than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
The first one falls.
Bucket.
And both free throws good for Starks.
Oh, that's a wrap.
Waiting for that first miss.
Once we get in the bonus, they in the bonus too, though.
Carter outside.
I already got 5 steals, so I shouldn't even go that hard on the steals.
Shot clock at 6.
Even though
Parker with it. And
it's the
Griffin picks him
backup,
up defensively.
I still was gonna reach regardless. After saying all that, as soon as Blake got in the way, I was like, "Ooh, I might be able to finesse this."
I can't believe that one.
That was incredible.
Credit Drummond with the assist. Doesn't get a ton of those, mainly because the team relies on him to finish.
Wow, 2K Facebook got the captions on the Facebook Live. I'm looking at the Facebook Live while I'm playing the game. They ain't catching everything I'm saying. That's funny.
And the way they have controlled the glass, this game really impressive.
Third quarter. Dang, I still got 20
Look at how
minutes
they
till
built
the
this lead. It's
Dipset.
been extra possessions.
The disrespect.
And so it's Miami, able to put on a show for the ages. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic
Rebound.
job.
All the way. Nope. There you go, Blake. Okay, so how much time we gonna waste on the clock now?
Some changes here for the Heat. Turner comes in for Blake.
Okay, that's good.
And Starks is subbed in for Hart. They've got Lowry
So I already
Markkanen.
got 69
Hardaway is
anyways.
out there with Karis LeVert.
At this
And it's
pace,
Holiday
all I
at
gotta
the
do is
point.
score like
So that's the
74 a
five in the
game
for Chicago.
to pass LeBron at the end of the season.
Hardaway kicks to Holiday.
The all-time leading scorer. Even though I got the accolade for all-time leading scorer
The
because
Bulls need to get a shot off here.
2K's used to Kareem being
Time
that.
on the assist by Holiday.
So they had already gave it to
Holiday's
me
got
that
3
game
assists
that I
now in this
passed.
one. Starks
Kareem.
with it. Now defended by Markkanen.
Okay. Thank you,
Contact on the
Andre,
shot,
for
so
doing
he'll
that.
be shooting free throws
You know,
here.
I usually
You know, City
shoot
Commissioner Adam
when I'm
Silver
downhill.
is
I
outspoken
dipped
in
it off to
saying
you
there will be a female NBA
so you
head
can
coach, and he
go
says
straight
it's
up,
on him
rim
to
grazing,
help it
whatever,
happen
power
sooner
power
than later.
dunking,
And
whatever.
Steve, we already see many women
Just
in
dunk it,
various
nigga.
categories in the NBA all over the league right now.
So true, Kevin. I love the diversity, and it's much needed in our league. And I will say, Adam Silver has done a great job of taking us in that direction.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now.
Come on now.
Juan Hernangomez, he's checked in for Hardaway.
That's off.
And it's Thornton in for Aaron Holiday. Heat also with the sub. Goodwin's checked in, and it's
Ah,
Tillman.
nice block. That's what I mean by turning the corner, though.
Al Thornton.
Like he's bigger than me though. Karis LeVert. I'll give you a little break 2K off of that. But my guy's so fast, if I get by you, it's like you're done, bro. That hanging on crap that they be trying to do. If you really hanging on somebody like that, they probably gonna call foul.
I do not remember the last time
Now
I
the
saw
NBA
a dunk
claim they gonna
like
stop that leaning in shooting crap. And it's not bad when you do it like Kobe used to do that crap.
in the fourth quarter so far.
But it wasn't so egregiously. Like I used to get mad about it. Don't get me wrong. Like not mad about it, but you know, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not a Kobe's fan. So you'd be like, yo, come on, Kobe. But I mean, like, you'd be like, Kobe used to do that crap, but he'd pump fake and lean in and catch the contact. It wasn't flagrantly abysmal what y'all niggas be doing. Like I don't even understand some of the fouls I see. Like, you wonder why we, like a lot of us will sit there and say the game is soft now. So like that's what we looking at. We're not really trying to call you soft per se, but at the same time we like, really?
Pressure you think on the players?
That's how you gonna play it?
I think now you look at it, everybody wants to see what
And that's another thing. It would just it would drive me crazy as a coach.
Everybody has a camera phone.
Cause I'd be like, y'all not even looking for the shot at that point.
Off the court.
Cause the ref might even see. That's the thing. Y'all be complaining about something. Ref might ain't even call it, bruh.
Parker's checked
And
in.
you just shooting and throwing it up. So I'm just like, bruh, come on.
And both free throws good for Starks. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know how many times I've been to the line? 10 times, made it 9 times.
Thornton against Starks. Thornton with it. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over Starks.
Wow.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Come on, Starks. Let's go. All the way.
Off the inbound.
Disrespect. The disrespect.
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special.
Mr. Starks is in the building.
And so it's Parker with it. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls.
Come on, Parker. What you gonna do?
Steve, for players, success brings so many opportunities. But sometimes the glitz and the glamour and the
5
lifestyle
minutes.
get in the way of success on the basketball court.
Dear Susie, dear Susie, I appreciate you.
And you want to encourage that. It's just when anything off
That's
the court
20.
starts
Looks
to
like
affect on the
18.
court, then it becomes a problem.
It's probably the
Some
court.
guys can handle it from the
It's
beginning.
20.
Others
It's
need to mature
2K20.
before they can find that balance.
He's off on the first.
And the ceiling Turner has is impressive. Has the potential to be a
I only have 18 on my
The Bulls making a switch here.
I only have 18 on my what you call it. Like it's in the cloud. But normally, normally when you can,
First period of the game, something to build on.
I ain't gonna be running today. I'm a my career person anyway. That's what I mostly stream is my career stuff.
To contain them.
Cause as soon as I get this game done, I'm going to I gotta watch that Dipset Locks versus. I'm cutting it close right now. It's 9:16. Start at 9:30.
Stolen by Robinson. Here's Starks, and it's blocked, and he recovers it.
Wow, okay. Costa. That's what you doing now here? Costa. Oh, come on, 2K. You can't let me get the revenge on the same drive?
50%. Here's Thornton, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Thornton's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Great timing. That can be the difference between an assist and a turnover.
You know I gotta come back. Back like cook crack.
Sensational finish.
Hey, you gotta be able to get some hang time to do that. For Chicago, they've got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter.
Come on, come on.
Parker against Starks.
I want to get another steal. Nice block. Let's go. Rebound, please. Yeah, and it's on Hall of Fame. I mean, like, this bill is OP. That's all there is to it. This bill is OP. Slashing playmaker is OP. Because he's faster than everybody. Oh, Chris Paul making an appearance. But yeah, he's faster than everybody. He's, Chris Paul wear my shoes too. Yeah, you got my shoes on right now. Yeah, I think I've only lost 20 games with this build.
Look at him punish that rim.
And majority have been played in Hall of Fame. Because most of the time, you know, you don't start on Hall of Fame in the beginning of my career. Most of us don't. What's the point? Especially if you're grinding from 60, ain't no point to start on Hall of Fame. But most of us don't start on Hall of Fame. And this transition for I ain't stay on All-Star that long. Or Superstar, whichever. I might have been on Superstar first, but I've played 6 seasons. At least 5 of them has legit been on Hall of Fame, and it's just been mostly blowouts.
And Greggy lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang, right to the bucket.
Great activity at both ends. Great teamwork as well.
Come on now, CP. I'm trying to take that ball from him. 154.
There's the steal.
All the way.
Here's Hart. Basket counts.
About time. Josh Hart. I got him in a trade. 2K is weird about that crap too. They'll make trades for you, but they won't let you get the trades that you want. All the guys I got out of free agency. All the guys that I wanted have strictly been out of free agency. Because that's when they give you those players. It's free agency.
And it's sent back by Drummond.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched.
The disrespect.
Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength.
I told somebody, I said, man, if you play like this though, like Westbrook tore his ACL playing like that early in his career. That's literally what would happen to this type of player. You cannot come down every single time and disrupt. Like, even if you were the best in the league, you're going to get an injury at some point just from hopping up every single time.
It's been nothing but W's. 4 straight.
Like, you might get injured off of just some fast breakers. Because with Prodigy, I can steal the ball and get to the rack myself. When nobody on me, you might get injured off of that.
Offense wanted to run, then found ways to disrupt that and cause turnovers.
And he knocks down the first one. Steve Revenue's climbing. We're seeing some star players.
But that would defeat the purpose of my career if you got injured anyway. Because it's like,
$10 million a year. My goodness. You think coaches are due for a raise?
we know how those injury cheese go. If you played Dynasty in the past, as far as NBA Live or you know, franchise, as far as 2K and Madden and all that stuff, you know, if they simulate a injury, it could be one of the worst injuries. Because I've seen, like, even the injury list. I can go on the injury list on here, and you'd be like, God dang, like. You like Zion out for this? Well, they ain't gonna be good this season, you know. The computer be rough with the injury, so it's good that they don't do that crap with my career. Cause my career, the whole purpose of my career, Hall of Fame.
This game has his name written all over it.
You're trying to be a Hall of Famer. A champion, a Hall of Famer, a legend. You can't be a top tier legend. Let me say it that way. Be injury prone.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposite.
Because Grant Hill could have been far better than what he was. And Grant Hill was a great player. And he might have been able to disrupt some of the stuff we've seen in the 90s.
And the Bulls with another miss.
Doesn't register
because his skill set.
Defending that shot.
There we go.
You know what he did? He timed it well and did a good job of contesting.
That's the other thing. Depending on where you play, sometimes. Chicago, I get up for that. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, and if you played in realistically, if you played in play for the team or played against the team, you would want to come to United Center, because you know that's where Jordan played. You want to come to Madison Square Garden because you know that's where everybody shows out. Like, Carmelo don't put up buckets, LeBron don't put up buckets, Jordan don't put up buckets. Like, the list goes on and on of people that have put up buckets in New York. So you want to be a part of that tradition. So certain things, like a lot of these games do be blowouts at this point. Because, like I said, like,
thank you.
I've been playing my career since 2K10, though. So you get a gist of how to play the story mode of it.
The 2K Sports.
Because in 2K10, there wasn't no park. It wasn't no park till, like, what, 2K16?
I got Shaq here, got Kenny the Jet here. Standing by on headset
So, I mean,
near the locker room, right down the hall.
I think really when it clicked was around 2K11 and 2K12. As far as, like,
hey, what's up?
winning
This is
on
Kenny
a
here, man. I
consistent
just wanted to
basis,
congratulate you
having a
first on a
player.
great win. But you guys have
that was
been
truly
dominating, and specifically you, during this stretch. What you got to do to keep this going?
I have to keep it going, man. That's the big question, Jet. I can say one thing, though. This streak has been one of the best experiences, man, since I started playing. The locker room is closed. Guys are checking their egos at the door. And everyone is just, having fun. I mean, that's what we're here for tonight, right? It's to have fun. It's a game. You got to enjoy it.
Well, I'm having fun talking to you, man. Keep it up.
Got to. Thank you, sir.
And that's going to do it for tonight. For Kenny, for Shaq, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he is. This is Ernie Johnson saying good night. We'll see you again soon.
Well, that's the end of the game. 95 points, 2 rebounds, 13 assists. I wish they would just pick the high stuff that you had. Don't put 2 rebounds. I had a better stat line than that. If you're going to do the 3 of them, do the 3 that were the highest. I had 5 steals. So do those. 95, 5 steals, 13 assists. Yeah, that makes sense. John Morant, they gave me a tough going at first in the beginning of the game. So John Morant, Luka, Singleton at Washington. He's really good. Power forward. auto-generated player. Carl Towns at his new team, Pacers. Kobe White, his second year in Toronto. Jokic, I think he's still in Denver. DeAndre Ayton, he was on my All-Star team in the beginning of the stream. Curry, old man Curry, and old man Harden too. At the renting out the top 10, and all these other guys are auto-generated players. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of my stream. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Ayo Kid 2306, and we back like good crack, and I'm out.